ladies and gentlemen on YouTube. It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, not reviews, but review. Which I'll get to when I get to it. The show from March 15th, 2021 at Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. We are commentators Tony Schiavone and Paul White, formerly known as The Big Show. Also formerly known as, for all you WCW fans, I'm included a WCW fan myself back in the days, The Giant. Now, Paul White is part of All Elite Wrestling, which I talked about before. I think it's a great pickup based on his last WWE appearance, basically, when he was the Big Show and all that. So that's not a hero there. But this is his role right now. He's got other roles too, where he's working behind the scenes and everything. And eventually he will have a match. I don't know when, but he will eventually have a match. But for now, he's going to just sit low, be a commentator for AEW Dark Evolution, AEW Dark Elevation. Excuse me, I was going to say Evolution. And right now it's a good role for him right now. And as far as what else he can do to contribute, there's a lot he could do as to contribute. He's been around over the years. He's known to be a legend, and he's a larger than life character, persona in a way. And with him being on commentary, alongside with a global buddy of his back in the days of WCW, Tony Schiavone, he's in a good role. He's in the right position and in good hands, and we'll see what he can deliver here, which he could deliver just fine either way. So no more BS of Paul White here, and no more BS up outside there too, by the way. But anyways, but yeah, we're gonna get to it right now. This will be the first episode of AEW Dark Elevation. They've been promoting this for quite a while, where they have been promoting that Paul White is gonna be a commentary here with Tony Schiavone, and we're gonna get right into it. Now this show is about 2 hours, folks. And in the middle of the show, it kept dragging and dragging. I'm just going to know off the bat. It kept dragging and dragging. There's some matches I did care for. I'm going to let you know what matches I did care for. But the one match I was looking forward to the most was the main event. Unfortunately, we're to the main event. I didn't expect this show to be this long. By the way, we're just doing AEW Dark Elevations. It's every Monday on 7 o'clock p.m. on YouTube, on their AEW channel. And this basically is the same old thing that they do with AEW Dark as well, which I'll get to more of that when we get to the AEW Dynamite portion of it when I get to that. But other than that, I digress, and I got some other things too about that whole thing. So, but let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to the show here, folks. And we're gonna start off first of all. They announced this match, by the way, when they started promoting this whole thing of AEW Dark Elevation of Danny Limelight versus Jungle Boy, and they had a good match here with Jungle Boy going over. Basically, I'm gonna do like I do with all Dark episodes that I've been doing for AEW or with this review. Let's just go half about the match if I care about it and all that. And I did care about this match, and the crowds even care about Jungle Boy. We're chance to sing his song. Oh, 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 oh. But yeah, and then Jungle Boy, they got the win. So Tony Schiavone and Paul White were shown on the screen, talking about what fans can expect for Dark Elevation, which there's really much to expect of it than what we've been seeing on Dark as of late over the years. With AEW Dark being around on YouTube. But that's not here or there. Kip Sabian and Miro with Penelope Ford versus Baron Black and Farsi Morales. I mean, Very Morales. Excuse me. Not much of a match here, folks. But it was basically a squash because Miro was killing them. That's basically what the gist of it. Kip Sabian got some offense on the opponents and everything, but at the end of the day, it was Miro dominating the match. Making him look like a beast, a monster, as she should have been. When they first brought him in, instead of having look like a joke against Chuck Taylor, for that one match that they had, where Chuck Taylor got all the offense in there on Miro, and Miro couldn't even capitalize on it until the end that he did. But that's not here or there. But in the end, it was Miro and Kip Sabian getting the win. And it was during this whole thing where Miro was having a little dissension with Kip Sabian and Play Before by having Play Before stay on the outside while Kip Sabian and him celebrate in the ring, basically leaving Play Before left out, even though Kip Sabian and Play Before are supposed to be married and supposed to be doing this together as a married couple. She flexes being left in the dark. No point intended, because this is AEW Dark Elevation. So Alex Marvez, he was backstage interviewing QT Marshall about the whole situation with the Nightmare family. Her response was he might just walk out of the interview, and he goes, "I'm just kidding," because the whole thing, the whole Nightmare family drama, and says that he talked about his opponent, Marco Stunt, and mocks his size, his height, and all, which it's fine and all dang all that, but the fact that he's wrestling against Marco Stunt. But he says that I promise everybody there's nothing wrong with the Nightmare family, and there you go. Even though there was very an issue with that, but we'll get to more of that once we get close to that review. Big Swole versus Skylar Moore. I did not care about Big Swole's match because why should I care about Big Swole's match afterwards? She didn't care about the match that happened at AEW Revolution of Hikaru Shida versus Riho Mitsunami for the AEW Women's World Championship title. Which you gotta love this fact too, by the way, folks, that before we got to that pay-per-view, they did a Dark episode on that Friday night before we got to Revolution on that Sunday, where Big Swole was kind of promo coming out there, because she was not scheduled to be there, whatever, and she's kind of promo about being left out of the tournament, being left out, and being unappreciative, underutilized, and then where she says she's gonna take a lot, and of course eye look of the match between Hikaru Shida and Riho Mitsunami, where she's gonna be scouting to see who's gonna win, because she's gonna be next in line. And then we get to here. Well, before we get to that, we get back to here. So she's watching the match and everything from Revolution between Mitsunami and Shida, and we can see her there, but when it comes to storyline continuity, you think that the cameraman will try to zoom into her or even come closer to her to see her reaction about the match and everything. I saw a reaction. I noticed it. She barely didn't care for it. And then when the match was over, because the match was decent between Hikaru Shida and Riho Mitsunami, she didn't clap. She did. She's like whatever. I could do better and everything and all that. Nothing about that. She didn't even get involved after the match, because what happened after the match, when Shida retained, Nyla Rose, Maki Itoh, Britt Baker came out, Rebel as well. All that came out, and Vicky Guerrero too. I think I'll put her in there too. And they all attacked Shida and Mitsunami, and meanwhile Big Swole was just standing there. Again, the cameraman's not looking at her. The cameraman's not zooming at her and all that. The thing about this whole thing with Big Swole is that she wants to to scout to see what who she wants to face next. Who's going to be the NXT, the AEW Women's Champion between Hikaru Shida or Riho Mitsunami. And because after that was done and everything, obviously with Shida winning, they didn't even follow up on that. So what was the point of Big Swole talking about on that Dark episode before we get to Revolution about what she's saying, pertains to everything that's going to be developed of her moving forward, pertains to getting a shot at the AEW Women's World Title match, that's especially what she wants, only for them to come to this one right here. Oh yeah, I'm thinking ahead, by the way, folks. But it'll come to full circle once I get to it. But yeah, but I was gonna say too here. What was the point of doing all that if you didn't even try to follow up on it on Revolution? You had Big Swole there, so why couldn't you capitalize on that? Where was the story continuity on there? So then we get to the show where Big Swole is facing Skylar Moore, and she's showing her attitude and all that, and she beats Skylar Moore, as she should, because she wants to be next in line for the title match, right, against Hikaru Shida. But I didn't care for the match. Basically, I just didn't care for the match, because why should I care about a Big Swole match? She didn't care about the matches that she was there for, to see Shida versus Michinami, and then also she was gone into that. Because she could have just stayed there for the rest of the show too, by the way, to pertains to watching all the other matches happen at Revolution. No, she was there for that one match, and then the camera then AEW. I should say this. I'm not gonna just being the cameraman. The cameraman at the end of the day just doing the cameraman always does, But it's AEW's job to give us a reason why we should care about Big Swole, about her getting the next opportunity against whoever's going to come out as the champion. So I feel like they didn't do a good job with that. But yeah, Big Swole did win though. I'm just going to remind you of that. QT Marshall versus Marco Stunt. QT Marshall was playing around with Marco Stunt. Marco Stunt did get the upper hand a little bit, which is ridiculous either way. But in the end, it was QT Marshall getting the diamond cutter. I'm trying to remember what happened after that. Okay, Marco Stunt bounces off the ropes, looking for something, but then gets caught with the pop-up diamond cutter. Okay, that was it. Stunt falls down as Marshall went for the diamond cutter. Okay, I'm trying to remember if it was in this one. But no, it wasn't actually. I can't remember. I was going to even say that. But anyways, after the match, Peter Avalon. I hate saying that name. Cesar Bononi and Ryan Nemeth. They all beat down on Marcus Stunt. Meanwhile, QT Marshall watching this on, does nothing and walks away. Then we get Drastic Express coming out for the save. And there you go. Nothing to say about that. Alright, good for Marcus Stunt getting his ass kicked, by the way. Always got to find a way to sideswipe the guy. Lee Johnson, there was a video vignette about him when he won his first match on AEW. He says that it was something that he's been dreaming of every week. Talks about his dream of being a pro wrestler in AEW. Also relates to his journey in AEW. And then the pandemic happened and everything. Where everything thought it was gonna ruin his chances of being in AEW. But sure enough, he was still active for AEW. Relates to him being a enhancement talent. And then also now being signed to AEW now, and then he explains why he is Big Shotty. Because at first he had some other nickname, but he decided to go with Big Shotty instead as his nickname before it says that it's his time to shine, and yeah, I liked it, by the way. I don't know what kind of venue they're calling with this. It was something that they did also with Red Velvet. Once we get to episode 2 of that one, and someone else too. I think it was Bear Country. I think they did that as well from episode 3 as well. Because again, I'm way behind, folks, for this whole thing, but we'll get to there when we get to it. But whatever the segment this is, I love it. It shows these new up and comers, who they are, or where they came from in these scenes, and why they're in pro wrestling, and what's basically they basically tells us their background. That's basically what this whole thing is about. It's the background about where they came up from and all that, and why they're here, and what's their goal here. So, love it. Love how they're doing this. Which is why AEW Dark Elevation has a purpose, or pertains to watching on the show every week, instead of what they're still doing, continue on doing that as well, or pertains to Tuesdays. But which we'll get to that more when we get to it. Ashley Vox versus Ty Conti. They had a match, and it was decent, with Ty Conti winning the match. It was back and forth. I enjoyed the match. So, Matt and Mike Sydal, they take on uh, Jorel, Jorel, I'm assuming that's his name, Jorel Nelson, and Royce Isaacs. Attaching match that happened. I thought it was decent. Didn't really get into that much, but decent. But the side of the Brothers won. Not much to say about that. Alex Marvez, he interviews Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook. Hook responds with Marshall's question, calling it bullshit. Then he says that he's about the action tonight, and not much to say about that. So, basically, with just Powerhouse Hobbs going up against Brandon Cutler. We'll get to that when we get to it. Danny Jordan, the real mean girl, going up against straight from your mama's kitchen, Red Velvet, and they're having a match, and it was decent, and Red Velvet goes over. I care about this match, so sorry about that, folks. But yeah, Red Velvet got the win, and they're putting her up with a chance to her being on AEW, and she is all elite, by the way. So I guess I also announced like on the second week after Dark Elevations that announced that she's all elite, because yeah, but Red Velvet is not all elite, just to let you know that. So in case you didn't know that, now you know. We go backstage now. Matt and Mike Sydal, they're backstage. They've been interviewing Alex Marvez, and then Kenny Omega and his crew interrupt. He says that people would rather hear from him, saying that he's scouting for Dynamite opponents, and says that they might someday face to face. Yeah, basically, Kenny Omega's talking to Matt Sydal, and Omega says that Tony Khan's top 5 matters. I mean, it doesn't matter. Excuse me. And it says that Michael Nakazawa is in his top 5. Yeah, right. Kenny Omega says that if Matt can beat Michael Nakazawa, then he could face him on Dynamite, and if he beats him on Dynamite, then he will give him a title shot in the future. Which I hate, by the way, because I don't like when a champion faces a an opponent in an exhibition match, when the title's not in the line, and if you beat the champion, then you get to face the champion again, this time for the title. That's stupid. I hate that shit. Why can't they do like how New Japan Pro Wrestling does it? No, they gotta do like how WWE does it. And Impact Wrestling doesn't get a pass either. They do this shit too. And I just hate when wrestling does that overall. Not even Ring of Honor does that shit, man. At least they do the New Japan shit on the right way. But anyways, we'll get to that later though. All right, so Max Caster he did this Dante Martin with more saying that he's more handsome than and at least that's what his mom said. And this basically you had Dante Martin heat up, and they had this match, and it's been pretty good. And Matt Castle wins the match. So this match I didn't care for, but I think there was somewhere around here it started dragging on way too long. I see myself, can we get to the main event already? Like, seriously. But then also we had to get to Matt Sydal and Michael Nakazawa's match too. Like, oh my god. But yeah, Matt Castle won though. Then we get to Ray Lang from OVW, who's the OVW Women's Champion. She went against, fortunately, Abaddon. So Ray Lang got destroyed. Not much to say. I mean, she got some offense, but in the end, it was Abaddon's. It was her showcase. Brandon Cutler versus Powerhouse Hobbs with Hook at ringside. I barely care about this match because I kind of knew who was going to win, and it was Powerhouse Hobbs. So there you go. Diamante versus Layla Gray. Layla Gray from the Bronx, New York, and she looked sexy, and she was good in the ring too. So yeah, this match I care for a little bit, and Diamante is being built up right now as being a singles wrestler because unfortunately, Ivelisse, I guess she's not there anymore. and Elise has no one to blame her but herself. Which is a shame because you just basically left Diamante high and dry here on AEW with nothing to do. But at least AEW saw that issue was um you know that has been resolved by having Diamante having singles matches, which is good because let's just say that when it comes to AEW trying to be beat at WWE with this whole if you beat the champion you get to shout out the champion in the future, whatever, next time, whatever, and other things too where it tends to doing these segments too, because it's been done to death for that too and everything. But at least I'll give AEW this one. With AEW, with Diamante being with Elise's tag team partner, or being the winners of the women's tag team tournament they did last year, from last summer. And then Elise issues, where she's the problem that she's got some issues with the company, whatever. Let's just say this: any company that she goes to, anyways, she always got some issues or whatever, and problems, whatever. That always getting some heat, whatever. That maybe the problem is not the company. Maybe the problem is not the people that you're that are surrounding you. Maybe you're the problem. Part of the reason why they WWE let you go in the first place when you were first on NXT. I don't know. But it's Elise's own fault. She was part of AEW. It was not announced on any sites that she was All Elite, but she did confirm on some kind of podcast she was on, whatever, or something that she exposed that she is All Elite with AEW. They signed her and everything, and then she somewhere along the way became her own downfall with the company, and she got no one to blame herself. And at the end of the day, you left Diamante here, who you're supposed to be cool with, and they are cool with each other, but you left her high and dry, with nothing for her to do. So with AEW, at least I'll give AEW this. At least they're not being WWE when it tends to when a tag team it has to fall out or issues, whatever. Like the whole thing with Heavy Machinery, that whole thing where Aldis was doing his own thing while Tucker is doing nothing. The War Machine. I'm not calling them by the other names. War Machine, where you got Hansen on the injury list, and then you have Rowe, Raymond Rowe, doing nothing. And same thing with the Usos. At one point, one of the Usos got hurt, and then the other Uso not seen. At least they are doing something with the Usos right now, with tends to Jey Uso during that time. But beforehand, they weren't doing shit with Jey Uso. But yeah, this has always been the pattern with WWE at one point, with that whole situation with a tag team. Luckily for AEW, they're not doing that with Diamante here. Diamante is a victim of all this because she did nothing wrong. On WWE's hand though, when someone does something wrong, and then when the other person didn't do anything wrong, that person who didn't do anything wrong gets to suffer. Now, luckily for AEW, they're not holding that against Diamante. Thank God for that, because at least Diamante is part of the team here, and she's showing that she could be a team player, unlike Elise. So at the end of the day, I'm glad that Diamante is getting a role here of being a singles wrestler, because guess what? She's not needed to be in a tag team either way, because she's better off as a singles wrestler either way. Hell, you can have her be in tag team matches, where it's out of the blue, whatever. But as of right now, I see Diamante as a rising star, as a singles wrestler, because she's got the total package. She's got it all. So, that being said, as far as match was, yeah, Diamante was showcasing how good she was in this match against Leila Gray, and in the end, Diamante got the win. So there you go. The Butcher and the Blade and Private Party, which is Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn with Matt Hardy and the Bunny, they take on Brick, Aldridge, Carly Bravo, David Ali, and Dean Alexander. Obviously, the heels won. This is one of the matches I didn't care for because I knew who's gonna win. And again, we get to Michael Nakazawa versus Matt Sydal. Well, Michael Nakazawa still had his headset on and everything because he's supposed to be the assistant for Kenny Omega. At least I'll say one thing: at least he's not in that ring attire that he was in, where it tends to him being almost looking like he's half naked. At least he's full clothes, so at least I'll give him that. Matt Sydal wins. And this match I didn't care for either way either. And then came out, and then he texts Matt Sydal, and he's like he feels so good and everything. Like, no, let's have a match right now. And he gets no one wing angel. He throws Rick Knox to the count, basically force him to count, and then Kenny Omega trying to waste his way out of here. And then oh god, I forgot about this. Tony Khan comes out. He says he did not want to be in this position. Didn't want to be in this position. But you made a gentleman agreement, whatever. That you're not gonna back down this agreement again like the last time. And you promised him a match. He said that was BS. He's like he says to him, Kenny Omega doesn't have the power to make matches. He's like, I make the matches, and I'm telling you right now, 9 days from tonight, live on Dynamite. Matt Sydal, you have time to get ready. 9 days from tonight, live on Dynamite. You're facing Kenny Omega, and Matt Sydal. If you beat him, you get a shot at the title and everything. And like, oh my god, this was a horrendous promo. It was a terrible promo from Tony Khan. Oh my god, like you mean to tell me of all the promos you've been doing on the paid advertisements for Impact Wrestling, that you're doing a better job on there, even though it's cringy too. To what he just did here, it was so cringy, way more cringier than what he's doing on Impact Wrestling with those paid advertisements. Like, what the hell happened here? Like he would. I don't know what happened. I really don't know. I really couldn't tell you. He looked like he. I just don't know. I don't know what would make it this promo, but it did get everyone's attention of the wrestling world about his promo, and and I think he became like a meme or whatever because of that. I don't know. I didn't see any memes of that, but oh my god, it was terrible. But it did set up a match between Kenny Omega and Matt Sydal, which we'll get to that when we get to that review, whenever that's gonna happen. But we'll see. But yeah, but tune in for that, folks. Maki Itoh comes out and sings a song, which by the way, the song's called Brooklyn the Hoe. So it was, I was like saying to myself, finally we got to this match. Like, holy fucking shit, a 2-hour show of this. I didn't think it was gonna be a 2-hour show, by the way, but 2-hour fucking show just to get to this point of the main event. Riho and Maki Itoh, and I love the match. I was into the match and everything, but holy crap, man! Please don't ever do another 2-hour ever again. But unfortunately, that's what they did. They did another 2 hours, but we'll get to that when we get to the third episode. Maki Itoh's not a good wrestler, by the way, folks. By the way, just want to put that out. But that's not all what's got her over in wrestling. What got her over is her character, her personality, her singing, her comedy, her entertainment. That's what she's known for. Now, I don't know how good she is as a wrestler, because I haven't seen much of her wrestling. But then again, we're not fans of Maki Itoh of wrestling. We're a fan of her because of her personality, her charisma. She's charismatic, She really knows how to entertain us, and she's getting over with all those fans in America. So, and she went against Riho, who's obviously Riho. We all know she is a good wrestler, and she knows how to be a good wrestler too. In the end, Riho got the win, and this was unfortunately the final match of Maki Itoh on AEW until maybe later on. We'll see, because she went back to Japan, especially what she did on BTE, where on the Dark Order trying to recruit her to the Dark Order. She doing threw it away, and then like she basically tells them to fuck off, and like I'm going back to Japan and everything. Oh man, Maki Itoh, man, she's awesome. She speaks good English, by the way, folks. By the way, she knows how to speak good English. So she understands the American culture. She understands what we do here in America. She fits right in. But now she's going back. She's back in Japan now, so it's unfortunate. Yes, that's how the show ended. Oh my god, this show was 2 hours of agonizing. But there was matches I did care for, and there's some matches I didn't care for. The main event is more, it's got me back into the zone here. But that was your audition for your first episode of AEW Dark Elevation from March 15th, excuse me, 2021. So Tomo Wrestling was 14 matches, and my overall rating for the show, I'm sorry, I gotta give it a 5 out of 10. It was an okay show, and that's the best I can say about the show. It was an okay show, because some matches, like, oh my god, I didn't care for in a way, and matches that that really started winding me down on my energy and all that, and like, can we just get to that main event already? Like, and then the whole thing with King Omega and Tony Khan, that was not needed either way. Even this extra match for Matt Sydal with Michael Nakazawa, that was not needed either. It was like nothing that wasn't needed. You're telling me you could it was ridiculous. It was even more ridiculous what happened on the next edition of which we're going to get to it. I'll explain more about that when I get to it. But with that being said, folks, thank you for watching for this Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. Take care.